We're shifting our focus to government transparency, and I promise all of you will get a chance to talk on this topic. We've heard from people with an eagerness to engage, really, but a concern that they don't have full access to records or representatives. We're going to begin by hearing from Leslie Kuba Bednar of the Jefferson neighborhood.
If you become mayor, how will you build, repair, and sustain the relationship between city administration and city council?
And again, everybody will have a chance to talk on this subject. Mr. Reed, you go first here.
Well, when you talk about the transparency in government, I mean, there's no better way in transparency in government of what I've already said in the initiative. I said it the last time I ran, and I'm saying it again this time. I am going to open up the mayor's office every Saturday to the citizens in the city of Cleveland to come down and talk to the mayor personally. They should not have to go through the bureaucracy of an inefficient city government that's going on right now. I've said it once, and I continue to say it. If the CEO of Eaton, Cleveland Clinic, or Sherwin-Williams wanted to see the mayor, they would make a phone call and they would get to see the mayor. The question is, why can't Ms. Smith that lives on 154th? She's got a problem. She's worked the system and the system has not worked. She wants to talk to the mayor. She should be able to talk to the mayor. Why can't Mr. Smith that lives over in West Park, who has a small problem in his regard, but it's big in his mind, and he wants to come talk to the mayor? So when I'm mayor of the city of Cleveland, record requests that come from the media, it's not going to be stonewall. Isn't it amazing that when they want to let you know they did something good, that record request and that item gets out there quick, fast, and in a hurry?
Rapid, please.
But
okay.
When the citizens want to see the public record, they walk the line very slowly. When I'm mayor of the city of Cleveland, transparency is going to be at the top of my agenda.
Senator, how about when you're the mayor?
When I'm the mayor, the city of Cleveland will have a one-stop shop for all residential consumer issues. No longer will you have to wait like I did for a year to get my light bulb replaced. If you have a problem with the city of Cleveland, you will have one place to go. We might have a couple, but you can call us on the telephone. You will be able to get us on an app, on the website. You can come down and you will speak to us in person. You will be treated with respect when you come to City Hall, because City Hall is not my City Hall, it's the resident City Hall. And as far as working with my colleagues, let me tell you something. It's not about Ward 1, Ward 5, Ward 10. It's all of our responsibilities to make sure that the city of Cleveland works for everybody in the city. But I'm going to go back real quick to talk about brownfields, because that's my favorite thing in my few minutes. When I started out, I talked about the fact that I just brought home $500 million. $350 million of those dollars went to clean up those brownfields that I have been tired of looking at for a very long time. $150 million will go to get rid of these abandoned properties. We should be making sure that when businesses want to move into the city of Cleveland, they don't have to wait decades in order to make sure they can do business with the city of Cleveland. If a business wants to expand in the city of Cleveland, trust me, they're going to have enough parcels to expand in the city. And I'm also going after businesses in other states, because I want to attract those businesses to the city. We will move at the speed of business in the city of Cleveland. So brownfields, they are ready to be gone, because under my administration, they're done. We're
going to move on to the next question, but Mr. Kucinich, I promise you'll be first on this one. Let's roll the tape of Giovanni Garrison from Slavic Village.
I would like to know, how will you as mayor show transparency and accountability when it comes to community block grant dollars and how those funds are distributed within the neighborhoods?
So block grants or relationships, Mr. Kucinich?
You have to start with people in the neighborhoods, and that means actually soliciting people door to door to come to meetings. But I just want to say this issue of transparency is one of the behind the scenes issues that is so important to the people of Cleveland, because let's just look at what's happened in the last few months here in Cleveland. More recently, $435 million being discussed about Progressive Field, but the deal's like a black box. We don't know anything about it. It's been announced, everyone agrees on it, but we haven't seen any numbers. There's a lack of transparency. This tragic case of a city councilman who was actually stealing money by putting in for vouchers or for $1,200 a month that he shouldn't have been able, that he couldn't prove that he actually, spent. 383 different federal counts were involved in that case, and city council leadership goes, duh, we don't know nothing. Now, there's something wrong with transparency there. And finally, this idea of not having public comment at city council, they've been rolling the public for months and years on this. No transparency. People don't have a voice. Well, when I'm mayor, people have a voice. I made sure that the first hour of every day, people were able to call me directly as mayor to cut through the bureaucracy. I did that 44 years ago.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly, I was going to go to you anyway, but he took a shot at you, so take the full minute.
I'm going to take, if I could take a minute 30 with rebuttal plus.
No. Just give you the minute.
Right.
Nice try, though. Really nice try.
Okay, very good, very good. Let me start with the issue with Ken Johnson. I don't review the expense reports. The moment I found out about it, I stopped it. The moment I found out about it, I called in an independent auditor to review our processes. And we can't go back and fix the past, but we can absolutely be sure that the next person that tries to cheat the residents of the city of Cleveland will not be successful in that area. Mr. Kucinich mentioned public comment. I seem to recall that you were a council person at a certain point and you were mayor, and I don't remember that being part of what you did in either of those positions. I actually did it. I actually got it done.
You're the council president. Where's your public comment? Come on.
I don't recall you ever instituting or talking about it.
Will you have a public comment period?
I've already done
Tell
it.
the people of Cleveland.
Yeah, it's already done. But
Tell the people of Cleveland.
You're saying the same things you did in the 70s. We saw that movie. It doesn't end well. It's the same stuff. You were in council and the mayor, and you failed to do this. End of story. Now,
you wouldn't have saved Muni Light.
Moving back to,
I'll give you the 30 seconds.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And on the on Muni Light, you're promising people a 10% rate cut. Seems to me in 1977 you promised a 25% rate cut. It just never happened. So you can say whatever you want. Now, if I can get to transparency in government,
page book that
I know it's a real winner. Rick, if I can just get to the issue of transparency. Real simple. Public records are the people's records. This is what people are entitled to. When I'm mayor, I'm going to institute an open data model. There's a way to do that. It just takes a little bit of money and a little bit of will, and we can get that done. But open data is going to be a policy I champion.
We're going to go to the last videotape question here. I promise I'll get to you. Daniel Ortiz, who lives in Lakewood but works here in the city.
Would you support a participatory budgeting process to engage and center the concerns of Cleveland residents impacted by the COVID crisis? And would you let the people decide how to use a portion of the American Rescue Plan funds for a just recovery?
Ross, you actually mentioned part of that earlier, so it fits right in. You had your hand up. I know you wanted to answer on this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it fits right into Giovanni's question right before this, right? This is why I'm running, to get an accounting of our tax dollars, community development block grant dollars, the ARPA dollars. My income taxes went up from 2 to 2.5%. My property taxes went up from $3,200 to $3,900 in 1 year. Now I'm not getting recycling, right? We're not getting plowing. We're not getting paving. You're not getting ambulance responses. I don't know what I am getting. So I went out and got 4,000 signatures to get on the ballot. So we're going to up our technology game, do a public ledger, and me and my neighbors on Mirrormead get to see where every penny goes if I become mayor. Now, these guys are traditional politicians, so they're well-funded. They'll do what their donors ask of them. But Sherwin-Williams, whoever we give our money to, right, we demand to see the books.
Mr. Bibb, last answer today.
Yeah, I would say the last two questions speak to this culture of complacency that's a cancer in our city. And we need to do everything in our power to take this moment and make it a movement to ensure that resident voice is a key part of every decision we make at City Hall beyond just an election cycle. Absolutely, I will support participatory budgeting, not only with the American Rescue Plan dollars. I want to allocate $30 million of that funding for participatory budgeting, but in the budget process, come 2022, we should be using participatory budgeting to ensure that residents have a seat at the table, because your budget is a reflection of your values. And I want to make sure as the next mayor, your values are represented in every decision I make as your mayor.
We do have to move on now because